Hi everyone. Okay, so tonight I tried calling the kids. I hadn't spoken to them all weekend, um, and I was really looking forward to hearing from them. I called Owen Johnson, and I left him a voicemail saying to get the kids to call me before bed. And then I called his parents because if he's at work, then they're with his parents. So, um, So I called his parents and left them the same voicemail. I called both Owen Johnson and his parents twice, and neither one of them picked up. Now, after that, I sent them an email, or I sent Owen Johnson an email saying that, I tried calling, get the kids to call me before bed. This was his response. So I get this I called them initially around 6 o'clock, quarter to six, 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock, I get this email from him. And it says, Susan, I just got your email about 15 minutes ago. If that, kids are already asleep, parents were out with them, and when they got home, they put them to bed. Then they saw your call. Going forward, we need to schedule a call going forward so you're not trying to get through every day when we are busy. I'm thinking 7 p.m., 2 nights a week, maybe Saturday and Tuesday. Any more than that is too much and too hard to get the kids to sleep after your call. So I haven't seen the kids since November 5th, 2022. And now he's trying to limit my phone calls to twice a week. He's literally trying to cut me out of the kid's life. Um, and if it was too hard for them to get to sleep after my phone calls, then why schedule it for 7 o'clock right before bed? It doesn't make sense. And you guys have heard our phone calls. Like, the kids are super happy to hear from me. They're super excited. This is child abuse, is what he's doing. He is denying them access to me. The kids want to hear from me, they want to see me, and he is refusing. So I responded to him, Owen, I expect to be allowed to speak with them every night. Um, you with this is just another attempt at you withholding the kids from me in the attempt to break the bond that they and I share. I also work on call at times, and I can't say to a client to postpone their crisis so that I can call the kids. If it is hard to get them to sleep after I call, I suggest earlier in the evening for the phone calls as opposed to right before bed. So I'm going to try calling him um, whenever I get home from work. And usually that's around 6 o'clock. So I'm going to try to aim for around there. However, if it's half an hour early or half an hour later, I still expect to be able to talk to my kids. So, um, going like going forward, Owen, I am going to call every night, and I do expect you guys to pick up. If not, I am going to call for a well-being check because what you're doing is wrong. Okay, so we're going to talk about this affidavit from Verna Sullivan. Now, it's interesting. Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to note in here. So, look at Owen Johnson's email on who he CC'd in this. He CC'd Alexandra Aquila, the person who has been telling him to ignore a judge's court order, and Madison Parker, who is another lawyer. Now, Miss Aquila has said to the court that she is assisting her. She is not a paralegal. She is not a legal assistant. She is registered with the Law Society as a lawyer, meaning he has hired two lawyers. Meanwhile, I can't even afford one right now. Okay, so we're going to talk about this affidavit tonight. Now, I wanted to do this chronologically. However, and I'm still going to do the chapters chronologically, but for tonight, I want to talk about this and how it relates to the phone calls. So this is an affidavit that Alexandra Aquila submitted to the courts back in September 2019 or October 2019. And we're going to go over this in depth because it speaks to the abuse that he is um, directing at the children. So Verna Sullivan, who is a Master of Social Works, that's what the MSW stands for, and Bachelor of Arts. Um, she says, I'm a Master of Social Worker, and as such, I have personal knowledge of the facts and matters herein deposed to me, except where same is stated to be expressly or implicitly based upon information received or statements made to me. In which case, I do very believe the information received or statements made to me to be true. Um, Attached here in marked Exhibit A is a copy of my curriculum. Sorry, my eyes are bad. Um, Her credentials, essentially. All right. Um, he goes on to say that she has not met the parties, nor has she met the children. Only information that she has reviewed in the final draft of the affidavit of Owen Johnson. So, okay, so we're just going to skip ahead here because, okay, so this is her credentials, right? So she seems to be quite educated. She's been to the University of Manitoba. Um, she's gotten her Bachelor of Social Work, her Bachelor of Arts, Master of Social Work. She's worked for a variety of different places. She was a family therapist, it looks like. Custody and access assessor, child welfare worker. So she's quite familiar with children, essentially, and the impacts these kind of things can have on the children. So this is a brief summary regarding attachment and potential harm to children when they are withheld from their primary caregivers. And I'm not going to read all of this tonight, but if you skip down to the fourth paragraph on this page, it says when children are withheld from any attachment figure for any reasonable period of time, they often experience feelings of abandonment. That can affect their overall adjustment. Children had developed secure attachments with their caregiver. Providers can digress and they can develop insecure attachment styles. It is understandable that children would have a reaction to being withheld from the caregiver who previously emotionally available and protective when the child was distressed. The last paragraph, the risk of harm to children is amplified with cumulative stress. Cumulative stress theory um, poses that the earlier in life of a di- child's divorce occurs, the greater the impact on the child. The impact of an accumulation of stressful events in the period of time without opportunity to recover from the events, often exceeds the tolerance level for stress in young children. Because of the limited understanding of the children under the age of 6, Ashley's only 5, Alex is 7. Divorce is, well, Alex is 7 now, but when this was written, last year he was only, well, no, sorry, not when it was written last year, because it was written in 2019, but last year when the kids started to be um, withheld from me, he was only 6. Divorce is most detrimental to the psychological and behavioral functioning of children in this age group. The potential increases in activities over time when left unaddressed. So, what Owen is doing is literally psychological and emotional abuse of the children. And this is coming from the child psychologist that he had submit an affidavit to the courts. I I'm going to go through this very slowly so people can pause it and read it in full. But what he is doing is abusive to the children. There's no other way um to look at it. And for Anchor to say that he would have to prove psychological abuse, well, here's a child psychologist saying that what harm could be done by him withholding the children. And now he's not even allowing me to speak with them. In my chapters, we will be going over this in depth. And see, this is her references where she has derived her findings from. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. To Alex and Ashley and all my children, um I love you guys, and I hope to talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.